Hi, old guy in shed again. How are you? I'm going to be talking about my only non-Italian bike. It's the Suzuki GT380. Had this bike quite some time. Really do like it. I keep threatening to sell it because it's not Italian and it doesn't fit with the rest of the bikes that I have in here. But I have to say, every time I say I'm going to sell it, I go for a ride on it and I enjoy it so much. I then go, no, it's okay, I'll keep hold of it. One of the reasons is this wonderful 3-cylinder 2-stroke. It is like an electric motor, it's that smooth. It is super civilised. It just really delivers the power beautifully and it whizzes along beautifully. I know there was faster bikes and they were 3-cylinder 2-strokes in the day, like the Kawasaki KH400, which was a much quicker bike than this. I don't know whether they were quicker or just a more aggressive power band. It came in with more of a bang. And if you would believe the urban myths, I believe, of the time, people would say, oh well, the Kawasaki didn't handle as well and this, that and the other. I'm not sure. But right now, today, owning these bikes, because they are now old ladies, you don't thrash them in the same way as we did as youths, and we have a little bit more mechanical sympathy than we did as youths. So it really wouldn't matter that much. I will say, and I think I'm being very fair in my assessment, that this doesn't give you that real stable feel that you get from the Italian bikes. I really don't think it is quite as, handles quite as well. I have decked it a couple of times very easily, particularly mid-corner. It doesn't have, it sort of moves around under me a bit, mid-corner. Especially on sort of big long sweeps and it just doesn't feel as planted as say the 350 or any of the Italian bikes, you know, that I've got and had in the past. It just doesn't have that real solid feel on the road. Having said that, it's super civilised. The riding position is beautiful, the seat's good. The engine is superb, the gear shift is superb, a really nice bike, but like I say, when you're working on it and you're doing any work with it and you're looking at the chassis or any other parts, it does have that mass-produced feel. The Italian bikes tend to give you much more of a hand-built feel to them. They've got more of a sort of cottage industry feel to them. I think that would be fair to say. Whereas these do feel like they are just spat out, you know. Lots of things against them. Things like the mudguards are chrome steel that rust. The chrome work isn't great on them. The Italian bikes tend to come with metal panels, not plastic, come with stainless steel mudguards, etc. So I think on balance they're just different without being cruel to either. They are so different that it's hard to make a good comparison. The one thing I would like to do about this particular model, and it is this particular model, is this is one of the very first of them, the GT380s, and it's got the twin leading shoe front brake, beautiful front brake. I mean that is really a nice thing to own, because it just rides and feels so much better. You just have more contact with the bike. I really do like that. I got this from one of the importers of American bikes to this country. And the whole thing, the whole bike, they'd taken a rattle can of matte black and literally just sprayed everything on the bike. The whole bike was just matte black. And it was hideous. I mean, it was just the most hideous thing you've ever seen in your life. And I did a little bit of cleaning here with a rag with thinners on to see what would happen. And I saw the colour underneath. So I've got a colour match from my local paint shop, and I repainted it in its original colours, and I got all the matte black that was even on the frame. Yeah, how ridiculous. I got all the matte black off everywhere, off these mud guards, and to be honest I think it's what saved the bike long term, because it is a 70, it was made in 71 and it's a 72 model, so it's stood the test of time in that regard. Where it was in America I have no idea, but all in the frame and all over the place it was like a cement sand, or I don't know, maybe kept in the desert, and it rained and then they rode it and just left it. It was like concrete, and it took a lot to get it off, but underneath it was in very good condition. So that was another aspect to sort of bringing it back from the grave. The only things that I've put on it that are not original are the mirrors. The indicators were wrong, they had the wrong indicators on it, and I got hold of these. These are brand new pattern parts. They're not actually Suzuki, but they are a good knockoff. So that's in keeping with the bike. It needed handlebars, and what I was staggered about was you could get these from Suzuki as new old stock, which is fabulous. Suzuki are one of the few companies that are embracing the classic sort of movement, and they are supplying a lot of spares. I had a couple of T500s, the Suzuki Twin, and you don't have to go to the aftermarket, you can go to Suzuki and they'll supply you with brand new gaskets, which is fabulous. So Suzuki are good at that, they really are good at that, and I think it's nice that they've taken to it. But there you go, there's the Suzuki GT380, rides beautifully, engine is like a turbine, it's so smooth, it runs perfectly, absolutely perfect. Done very little to the engine when I got it. I think I took it apart and had a look, make sure everything was alright, new set of gaskets, away to go. And even the pipes are original, a bit scruffy here and there, they've got the odd mark, particularly the other side, but original. Same with the rims, a little pot mark here and there. We don't call it pot marks anymore, we call it patina. And it is a very nice little bike. Like I say, threatened to sell it on so many occasions and ridden it again and gone, I'm not going to sell it, I'm going to keep the damn thing. And we keep going through this loop. One day, if somebody walked through my door and said, here's a stupid amount of money that, you know, the bike's probably not worth quite that much, I would take it to be gone through, and I'd buy something else with the money, like another Italian bike. But as it stands, I'm not in a rush. No need to rush to sell this. It is just so different to everything else I've got, and it gives you a completely different feeling to ride. You do know it's not as traditionally built. It's not. You do know you're riding the throwaway object, because I'm convinced that in this era the Japanese were just flooding all the markets, particularly the American market, with a very affordable throwaway item, and I think this fell into that category. And it's just, but what a lot of fun! What a lot of fun! Get hold of one of these things, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. If I was going to be honest about this bike, one of its real failings is that if any of your friends, work colleagues, anybody that you know found out you were riding around on one of these things, they would be, and they are ecologists, the only thing green about this bike is the colour. The fuel consumption is not great. It really isn't very good. But it doesn't bother me because I don't do a great deal of miles on it. But it goes through old dinosaurs like you wouldn't believe. And it really is not economic. And then under here we have the oil tank, and that equally is not very economic. It goes through a fair bit of oil, and it pokes it out the back here in plumes of blue smoke. So you're not popular. You're not popular with cyclists. It doesn't really blow much smoke until you open it up. And if you come behind cyclists and they've slowed you up a bit, so you give it the drop down a couple of cogs and go, whoo, and you're away, you fill the road with smoke. They're not happy. They're not happy at all. You just know that you're not a member of Friends of the Earth if you own one of these. You are one of the devil incarnate. But there you go. That's it. That's depending on your outlook. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure. That'll be sincerely up to your own conscience. I personally am just full of nostalgia when I ride it, because it was a great time to have motorbikes. The sort of late 60s, early 70s was a great time to have a motorbike, and it was great fun. I still enjoy it to this day, but very nostalgic about it. And you remember mid-70s with Barry Sheen and all that, flying the Suzuki flag. It was a great era. It really was a great era. And the two-strokes were king. You had things like the RG 500, the 750 Kettle, we had the Kawasaki Mach 3, was it called, the 500, known as the Widowmaker. A wonderful era for two-strokes. The RD, the Yamaha RDs, proper hooligan bike. And so like that, I enjoyed that era, especially the two-strokes. So anyway, that would be enough for me for one day. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the little bell button if you want to hear more. So this is Old Guy in the Shed saying thanks for watching. Take care.